Welcome to the Fight Night Daily Podcast. Myself, Spencer Oliver, and Mr. Duke McKenzie. Duke, we're here for the press conference of the Magnificent Seven, the fight that's happening December the 7th at Wembley Arena. We're here in the Civic Centre, just been with a press conference. Brad Pauls versus Denzel Bentley for the British and vacant European middleweight titles on the line, and a shot possibly at a world title if they come through there. What did you make, first of all, Duke? We'll get into the undercard as well in a minute, but what did you make there of the press conference, of that main event? Let's talk about Brad Pauls and Denzel Bentley. A lot on the line for these guys.
There's a lot on the line, Spencer, as you said. It's quite exciting, to be honest with you. There's an array of talent on Saturday night, and I'm really looking forward to this, man. I mean, Frank Warren's really sold a good show, and we've had some tremendous fights. I'm sure Saturday night's going to be exactly the same.
Mate, you talk about good nights, Wembley Arena. You had nights of your own in Wembley Arena and all, didn't you? I mean, good and bad, may I add.
I did have good and bad. I won my European title here against Charlie Magri back in 1987.
Champagne Charlie?
Champagne Charlie, yeah, absolutely. Champagne Charlie, yeah.
All right, how did that go then? Was that, break it down a little bit.
Well, that was for my British championship,
right.
And he was the European champion at that time. And it was a fight I wasn't supposed to win. It was my coming of age fight,
right,
which I won and came through. And obviously the rest is history.
Right, listen, free weight, world champion, Mr. Duke McKenzie. And yeah, so Wembley Arena has a lot of memorable nights for you. But I think we're going to get one actually on Saturday night, because you look at the card there and you look who's on that card. You talk about that main event with so much on the line. I mean, you've got an undercard there that's like
packed.
Gets me going as well. Sam Noakes versus Ryan Walsh. Now, I love that fight.
Yeah.
We talk about Sam Noakes, Ryan Walsh. Sam Noakes is the now European champion.
Which carries a lot of weight in its
does,
own right.
Mate, it does, but he's like, 15 fights, 15 wins, 14 KOs against Ryan Walsh, who's like 38 years of age. I mean,
he's not supposed to win, but he's not supposed to win. But that's the real sort of conundrum in this fight. Can he turn back the clock? Will he be able to produce his old form? Will he be able to claw back the deficit if he gets behind? Do you see what I mean, Spence? Will the engine still be going?
Well, listen, you look at Ryan Walsh and you go back to 2022, and he boxed Maxie Hughes. He boxed him for the IBO, I think it was the IBO world title. And you look at that and you think then, at that age, he was 36 years of age, and you think he's had a great career, Ryan, and he's done there. Where does he find the motivation? I think that's probably one of them. He's gone on, he's had a couple of wins now, and he said the motivation comes within. He goes for me, it is about proving people wrong. Yeah. Do you get that?
Oh, no.
Do you understand it?
Totally understand it, but he's also a family man, isn't he? And I think he's got another child on the way, so he doesn't need motivating. He's got mouths to feed.
Yeah. Well, listen, a heavyweight fight that I'm really looking forward to, right? David Adelaide. He's coming. It's the first time he's actually boxed since he got beat by Fabio Wardley. He's against Solomon Dacres. Yep. Now, Solomon Dacres, unbeaten, English champion, 9-0, 3 KOs against David Adelaide. Solomon didn't really tell us much up there, did he? He's one of them kids that wants to do all the talking in the ring. But what do you make of David Adelaide? Yeah, he's coming off that defeat 14 months ago now, by the way, as well. But what do you make of him up there for one and him as a fighter?
Yeah, but his demeanour was very positive. He's confident, and don't forget, he may have lost his last fight, but he's got time now to digest it, get over it, and move on. The heavyweight division is so stacked right now with talent. There's a lot of talent coming through. It's quite an exciting time to be a heavyweight right now, Spence.
Yeah, it certainly is. And David Adelaide, like I say, he's 12-1 now with 11 KOs. The kid was on the right path. He looked there and he went in against Fabio Wardley. A lot of people felt he was going to win that fight. He come unstuck, and we saw that if you go back to a David Haye when he boxed Cole Thompson.
Yeah.
A lot was expected from him. He run out,
Sure.
He gassed out, and it was a similar sort of thing there from Adelaide. Will he have learnt from that defeat? As in, he went out there, thought he was going to take Fabio out. It didn't work. Second half of the fight, he ran out of steam.
Well, listen, you can learn a lot more in defeat than you do in victory, as you well know.
Yeah.
I know, personally. So I would expect him to come back and bounce back full of vigour. I think he'll go out and really put on an excellent show.
Listen, he's 14 months out. He's teamed up now with Adam Booth, a trainer that you know really well. Do you think that's a good thing?
Well, it's not a bad thing. Booth knows his stuff. So we're going to find out just how effective he can be.
Just while we're on the heavyweights, Duke, I want to talk about the heavyweight scene a little bit now, the heavyweight landscape right now. Look, Turki Al-Sheikh, what he's doing for boxing right now, putting all these fights in the best against the best and whatnot. We're getting the fights now that we've craved. The politics that were involved in, your career, my career, they're gone now.
Gone.
The heavyweight scene right now, is it the best that you've known for
The
maybe some time or forever.
The heavyweight scene right now, not only in this country but worldwide, there's a hotbed of talent out there. There are so many good heavyweights out there, and you just mentioned Fabio Wardley. This kid's he's gonna make the breakthrough at some point. Now, obviously, the pick of the crop for me has to be Dubois, but we've got a lot of young, good heavyweights coming through. You know, Moses Atomo, he's fantastic. He's got a big fight coming up very, very soon. There's so many good heavyweights out there, Spence. Yeah. It's a good time to be a heavyweight.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, mate, like you say, like you need another dance partner to create legacies, you know, and modern eras and whatnot. And we've definitely got that, ain't we, with all these heavyweights out there.
Johnny Fisher, is that right?
Johnny Fisher, yeah, mate. It's another huge fight coming up. He's boxing Dave Allen,
right?
I believe out there.
That's going to be an explosive fight, Spence.
So we're looking forward to that one as well. So you say you're at the pick of the crop for you. Right now, in the heavyweight division.
Oh,
right now.
In the heavyweight division.
Who do you think's going to be the kid, the next one? For me, it's Moses Atoma. I think that he could be the kid that comes through. He could be the shining light.
He's not just a puncher, Spence. This guy's got an intelligent boxing brain, and I'm glad you touched on that subject because I was going to ask you, who would you fancy between Moses Atomo and Johnny Fisher? Who would you fancy?
Listen, mate, I think that Moses is the kid that has got the talent right now.
Doesn't he look
Johnny
great?
Fisher has been proving people wrong now for some time. Hold on a minute, mate. While we're talking about heavyweights, this is the perfect time. We'll get back to that, but let me just throw this guy in the middle because sorry about the height difference here, but Lawrence Okolie, the new heavyweight, making his heavyweight debut, former cruiserweight champion. Former Bridgerweight champion, stepping up to heavyweight, now WBC number 5.
Yeah, now we're looking to get a WBC silver title and push on towards that full world title.
Listen, put to bed, because I put to bed earlier on when we done talkSPORT, when we was on there earlier on, put to bed the reasons why you got that WBC number 5 ranking. I said when you're a former champion, you automatically get put into the top 10, and that's why you've earned them stripes.
Yeah, agreed. And to be fair, like outside of Anthony Joshua, all the people sort of in the top 10 below me haven't won a world title yet. So not to bash them or anything like that, but I've won 2 world titles in 2 weight classes and won 20 out of 21 fights, and you know, why not?
Why not?
Listen,
why not indeed?
Tell us about your opponent, Hassan Mohammed. He's he's only lost 1 fight in 18, 14 of those KOs. That's a good test for you at heavyweight in your first fight.
It's a solid first test, you know, and he's coming with ambition and drive and talking and speaks good English, and during the head-to-head, he was, you know, talking, let's have a good fight. So he's coming for it, which is good to see.
How difficult was it for you when you was back at, say, cruiserweight to make weight, and also you've just won the Bridgerweight World Championship, and now you've jumped straight from that weight division into the heavyweight division? Yeah. Why the quick transition?
Yeah, because it was getting very, very difficult to make weight. I mean, last year I was still at cruiserweight. This year I'll probably weigh in 115. 115 kilos for this fight, so it's like cutting down from, even if I was 110 to cruiserweight was hard, and then getting down to, I think it's 102 for Bridgerweight it's not as hard, but it's still a cut. So I thought to myself, you know, it's only a few kilos extra that the guys will have in the ring, might as well just do a heavyweight.
Listen, put that into stones for us, for people that won't know the kilos thing. Put it into stones for us, like, what is that, 17 and a half stone?
Yeah, so at the start of this camp I was at 17, just under 18 stone, so I'm probably like 17 and a half now, but I was making 14.4 last year, then Bridgerweight is like 15 or 16, something like that, so it's just too much to lose that extra stone and a half, so I just thought, you know, let me just sit comfortable and we'll go from there.
Listen, Lawrence, I want to talk to you about that, because like when you lost that title to Chris Billam-Smith, it was clearly evident that you were struggling to make the weight because of your size and your frame. I couldn't believe actually that you used to make cruiserweight still at that time. Yeah. Did that affect your performances, as in, like, you know, you got a lot of stick for being maybe too negative sometimes and everything else. I know what it's like, Duke, you know what it's like to make weight.
I was just about to say,
and you know, that punch resistance, etc., etc. Did that play a part in the back end of being a cruiserweight?
I can only say that now that I've felt what that's like as a Bridgerweight and now in this camp as a heavyweight, which is, I feel a lot more sure of myself when I'm in the ring. I feel a lot more full and fueled up. Like during this week, I've been able to take a day of rest or eat food every day. Like,
how important is that to be able to eat, drink, sleep,
yeah, exactly,
walk and talk the sport and not have to worry about making weight?
This is it. So now, as in, this was like a 5-week camp, which is short for what I've been doing.
But you've been ticking over regardless.
Yeah,
of
course.
That,
but it's like I'm not focusing on, oh God, I've got 5
Making
weeks
weight.
to make weight. I've got
Sure.
5 weeks to get in better shape and work on this shot and work on that shot. So it allows me to sort of focus more on boxing than what was my main focus before, which was making weight.
And doesn't it become so painful when you're struggling to make weight? Because that becomes your whole life.
Yeah.
You eat it, sleep it, walk it, talk it, trying to make the weight.
That's
You're not
it.
actually concentrating on the fight. You're worried about making weight.
No.
But you haven't got those issues anymore.
Agreed. The real fight was for the Friday weigh-in. You know, am I going to make weight? That's the
sure.
question. Not am I going to win the fight? It's am I going to make weight to have the fight? And
people won't even realise the importance of being so happy in yourself, getting up and having breakfast, having a lunch, having a dinner. You're so happy.
Yeah, agreed.
I expect, you should be at your absolute pinnacle best.
I'll be great. I mean, look, we've got a guy here. If I was at Cruiser or Bridgeweight and he's talking
Might
about
have given you some troubles.
Yeah,
sure.
But it's like, no, heavyweight. Like, so I'm just sure. I'm sure of myself, sure
You
of
can be
everything
you.
that's going to come. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Listen, quickly, Lawrence, before we let you go, mate, give us the roadmap for you as a heavyweight. Yeah, you're number 5 in the WBC now. How quick do you want to move? You know, how quick do you want to get in the mix with these big names? Saudi Arabia's playing a big part in this heavyweight division right now. Where do you want to be?
For me, it's, you know, God willing, I win this fight and win this fight well. It's straight away after that. You know, I've experienced now. I've won world titles. I've been in world title fights. I've had huge pressure. I boxed on huge cards and headlined and stuff. So it's about going in there against the top guys. I did it at cruiserweight, bridgerweight. So same again. This is a nice big guy, nice big step in the right direction. But once I'm able to win this well, we're off.
Prediction for Saturday night?
I think it'll be a mid-round stoppage. I think he's going to come with a lot. It was my mistake saying I was going to stop him in 6 at the first. I should have kept my mouth shut, because now I know he would have trained hard making sure he can get to 6. But I think when we get to the middle rounds, after we've had our first few rounds of fire and dodging and, you know, putting body shots in, we'll get to the second half of the fight where, yeah, exactly. We'll get to the second half of the fight where I'll probably, I know Denzel said it, but I think he'll quit on himself.
Brilliant. Well, listen, Lawrence Okolie, thanks so much, my man. Looking forward to it Saturday night, mate. Lawrence Okolie at heavyweight, man. That's going to be good. That's going to be exciting, right?
It's going to be a good one.
Mate, honestly, this guy could play a prominent part in the heavyweight division right now, because that struggle to make cruiserweight, I think, did affect his final couple of performances.
100%.
Like he said, it was all about beating the scales, not the opponent.
Weight, it's horrible, Spence.
Duke, how bad is it?
When you have to eat, sleep, walk, talk to make weight, it consumes your whole life.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about, you know, the actual fight itself. You're just thinking about making weight, and it's horrible. It's a horrible distraction.
Listen, another guy that ain't got to make weight is Solomon Dacres. He's coming in now. He's defending his English title, 9-0, 3 KOs, going in against David Adelaide. We've just been talking about David, actually, and, you know, that little layoff that he's had, losing to Fabio Wardley, etc. What are you expecting from him on Saturday?
You know, I'm not looking at him being inactive or anything like that. I've just got to imagine that he's going to be sharp, and I'm going to imagine, you know, a fast start maybe for the first few rounds. I'm expecting a sharp start. I'm going to be very switched on. I'm just expecting the best.
Yeah, look, we know that he comes out firing. We saw that against Fabio Wardley. He loads up. You know, he's got a big high knockout ratio anyway. Are you expecting that on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm prepared for that. You know, him loading up, coming forward, trying to, you know, he does go for the knockout. Maybe tries a bit too hard. Something that I'm going to play off, hopefully. And yeah, I'm prepared for that.
Just got to be your natural, smooth self. I mean, listen, judging by your attire, your lovely suit you've got on, you look like you should be in a Bond film.
I know,
never mind boxing.
You never know who's watching. You know,
don't know who's watching.
Some talent agencies might hit me up. You know.
You're going to bring the same smooth, silky skills to the fight and be the smart guy.
Yeah, that's
and not
what
get
I'm
drawn
about.
into a fight.
That's what I'm about. You know, boxing. You know, skills pay the bills, like they always say, and especially in the heavyweight division, if you can take away someone's asset, which is just the power. There's so many other facets to this boxing game that you can exploit, you know, your IQ, your speed, your skill, your defensive movement, all of those stuff that I'm going to try and display.
Great.
Duke, listen, mate, what happened when we were boxing, you had a press conference, everyone rocked up in a suit, right? Everyone rocked up in a suit. If you never had a tie on, you looked a little bit out of place.
Yes.
He's bringing that old school back.
He's bringing the old school back. This is an old school fighter, mate. Trust me.
Absolutely. And you're going to need those old school skills in there to survive those first few rounds and take him into that later stage.
Yeah, definitely that, you know. I like you said, I'm bringing that old school back, that Muhammad Ali, nice, smooth and slick style. And hopefully I can emulate that in the ring.
Listen, you've got those Muhammad Ali good looks there. That's for sure, mate. Listen, I want to, you know, we've got to talk about it. Alexander Usyk, Tyson Fury 2, December the 21st. Heavyweight division right now is absolutely buzzing. I want to get your prediction on that one.
Yeah, it's a hard one to predict. It was a very close fight the first time. Fury had his moments. Usyk had his big moments. and it went by 1 round on a split decision. So I think Fury's probably going to change more. I think he'll be more aggressive, and I think he'll maybe stop the little showboating here and there, put it on him a bit more. Usyk's a masterful boxer. He's seen it all. He can deal with it all as well. So it's going to be another very, very close fight, I think.
Have you ever sparred any of them?
Yeah, I've done a lot of rounds with Tyson before he fought Chisora and before he fought Francis Ngannou. I've done a lot of rounds, very tricky, very awkward, big, long reach. Very tricky guy.
How good is he though? Like, because we'll talk about boxing IQs, and Alexander Usyk has that IQ, but everyone that spars Fury says he's like something different, something magical. Is that what it is?
Yeah, you're not far wrong. He is, like I said it when I went in there, he's probably the hardest man to hit and the hardest man to predict what's happening. He's so slick. He's got such long arms, and he's a big, strong guy. He's very different to everyone else.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, listen, Solomon, always a pleasure, mate. Looking forward to seeing you continue your career Saturday night. Best of luck, my man. Best of luck, mate. I love the suit, by the way. Rocking the suit there. What do you reckon of that? Old school, isn't it?
Yeah, he's old school.
Old school, mate.
What a lovely man.
What a lovely man. That's
Lovely
a great fight. But like he's one of them guys that wants to do the talking in the ring, where his opponent Adelaide was giving it to him a little bit up there, right?
But he's just remained calm throughout, hasn't he? He's not bit
Absolutely.
at what was coming back at him, Spence. He's
Yeah.
just holding it all in, and getting ready for Saturday night.
Absolutely. Listen, talking about Saturday night, let's finish off with this main event. Brad Pauls putting his newly crowned British champion on the line against the former 2-time British champion, Denzel Bentley. How do you see that one going, Duke?
Don't you see this as a pick'em?
It's a tough fight, mate.
It's a tough one.
It's a tough fight.
I don't normally sit on the fence, and I'm not now. I just see Bentley just marginally. I think if it goes to points, but I think Bentley's got just a smarter ring IQ and will pull away. And just think them last few sort of rounds.
I mean, if you look at Bentley and his career, you go, he was always seemed to be above British level. Like he lost to Janabek, in a good fight when he challenged for the WBO title a couple of years ago.
He'll draw on that experience.
But then he goes and loses to Nathan Heaney in a below par performance. Brad Pauls beats Nathan Heaney, draws him in the first time, and then knocks him out in that 12th and final round in a thriller. So you look at it now, and I'm with you, mate. You weigh it up and you go, it's a tough fight to call because Brad Pauls the first champion from down where he comes from in Newquay. You look at that and you go, the momentum is proper with him, but Bentley is proven at that level.
Not only is he proven at this level, Spence, but there's just something about him. He's got a very smooth way that he delivers when he talks. He doesn't get flustered. There's a calm confidence inside of him, which I think that's the experience that he has will be the difference between winning and losing this fight.
Listen, can't wait, mate. Well, look, I think that's it from us today. I mean, tune in again. We're going to be doing a Fight Night Daily podcast tomorrow, live from the weigh-in here at Wembley. And then I think we'll get a better idea of what these guys look like when they make the scales, Duke.
Yeah, different
story. You can see what's going on. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, where we're live from the weigh-in.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.